What is up? I'm back with another trip report because you motherfuckers asked for it. So I'm going to keep real short and sweet on MDA when I took 170 milligrams at Ultra in 2015. And it was 170 milligrams, which is a little less than I would have taken of MDMA because it's based on hydrochloric salt, which is more dense than the typical stuff you get in MDMA. So I kind of did the 170 as opposed to like 200 milligrams of MDMA to balance the two out for the higher density, the higher purity rather. So I took it. We were right before we saw Yellow Claw, who was someone we really like. It was like the third time we were seeing them, but I was really excited to see them live. And I took the 170 milligrams, and pretty typical. Like, there's gonna be a lot of similarities between MDMA, but I'm trying to note on the differences because that's really what's interesting about it. Is that it lacks. So I come up and it's highly energetic, more similar to ecstasy pills that people describe as like a chainsaw sort of energy, where it doesn't have the empathy and like the love associated with like the connection, the empathy base, like like MDMA is considered an empathogen, whereas I don't know MDA has as much of that. It's much more of like a pure amphetamine rush, like. I don't even know what I'd compare it to because I haven't done like methamphetamine or anything like that. But it lacks some of the empathy, but you also get this more of like a drilling sort of energy to it. And I remember feeling like kind of lost not like lost and confused in like a bad way, but just kind of unable to really think deeply about anything and just only able to accept like every moment as it came. And just kind of bear witness to what was happening and not think too much about it, which was interesting because MDMA can be very like contemplative and introspective, where MDA I felt a bit like in a fog, like a really euphoric fog, like a high energy euphoria that's in a mist, if that makes any sense whatsoever, because like my memory even isn't quite as clear as what it is with MDMA, because I don't know if there's less serotonin produced perhaps in MDA or not, but the memory just isn't as clear and concise as it is with other experiences like on MDMA. But and then I mean it had all the typical all the trappings of any amphetamine really. Like I could dance and I was super connected to the crowd, and the Yellow Claw, their MC Busy was killing it. Like, it was the first time they played Ultra, so everybody was super excited to see them, and they were on their A game for that show. And I was with my friend who was kind of seeing me through the experience because he was totally sober because he had rolled more recently, so he didn't want to, put too much stress on his synapses and that kind of thing. So, but he was with me the whole time, and I behaved fairly well. But we had a great time, and then I guess those are like the two marked differences between MDMA and MDA. Is that, and then I didn't notice how much more trippy it was, because that's a really common reported difference between the two, is that MDA is more psychedelic, like there's more visuals and whatnot. I kind of had a sense of that I could see that there's like more visual disturbances than I get on MDMA in comparison, but it wasn't like you're tripping on acid by any means. It was just very subtle, that like you had this sense that things were being bent a little bit and kind of miraged and splattered, but it was very in passing. Like, you couldn't have noticed it for any significant long time. It's kind of like when you see just like ghosts or whatever in your peripheral or whatever, like you pretend to see something that's not there. That's kind of how it was. But anyway, so I came up and I was at the peak, and I replied towing anyway, and Busy, the MC, opened up huge mosh pit, or the crowd opened up this huge mosh pit for their song In My Head, and he was like, let's see, like, he's just hyping the crowd, like, let's see who the craziest motherfucker in this crowd is. And so I love moshing because that's what I grew up doing. So of course I charged into the mosh pit and just taking people out, but all in like good fun. Everybody's getting picked up and that sort of thing. But there was a lot of moshing in that show, but I felt like really on top of it, really coordinated, and didn't fall down or anything, and just had a blast laughing and shoving everybody around. Like, I love all those crazy motherfuckers that are in the mosh pits at all these shows, because that's what I want to do the whole time. Because that's what, I mean, it's really what the energy calls for of the music. It's like, it's the music in like physical form, or it's how the energy manifests itself, and that's what's really interesting. And it's a huge release. It's a huge catharsis for people, and it always has been. So I got to let out a lot of my energy instead of like, I didn't do a whole lot of like specific dancing, but I did some shuffling in the pit, and we had a lot of fun. I've got some videos from that event. It was really cool because halfway through it started raining, but we were under this like canopy kind of thing, like we were protected from it, but it was just crazy, and it was right as they were coming on in the beginning, so it was just crazy. It seemed like some sort of universal intervention. Like, it's so cool that the light, the rain from the clouds seemed like hued for their appearance coming out, that it just started like pouring around us, but the show kept going, so it just like intensified everything. So it was amazing. So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend all this stuff, as long as you test your substances and try it all out. They're all amazing. They lied to you. All your teachers and the DARE officers, they lied to you. Drugs are awesome. Do them carefully, but do them. And that's really it. I don't know when next time I'll do one of these videos is. I might try doing a new type of video about like books, which I know sounds horribly boring, but I'm gonna see if that might work, if anybody has any fucking interest in that, or if everybody just wants to hear me talk about drugs. But until then, as always, never forget, cars are real, cliffs are real, cops are real. You can't fly. It's never a good time to die, and eventually you will come down. Peace.
Shout out to the homie Cisco. Finish up a real family shit.